Hi guys. So I think I've taken the time to talk about the different activities that have really affected my time here at Villanova. But let's face it, you're here to be in the classroom. So I decided to change it up this week and actually go to some of my friends and ask who their favorite professors were. Let's see what they had to say.
One of my favorite professors that I had was, his name's Professor Silverman. He's in the English department, and my big thing is I want to go into sports journalism, and he's a former Sports Illustrated writer, and he's written a bunch of books on golf and other sports I'm interested in. And it was great to get someone's perspective that's like in the field that I plan on being in, and he really pushed me to be a better writer.
Is Dr. Rick Eckstein. He was my sociology professor for both semesters of my freshman year. And I loved the class because he was a really unconventional professor. He gave the students a lot of power over what books we read, what topics we covered, and he really encouraged us to take risks, to go think outside the box. And our grade didn't depend so much on if we gave the correct answer, but if we thought of something that may or may not be right, but we just tried it anyway.
Is Dr. Mike Russell. He teaches in the biology department, and he is both my advisor and has been my professor for 2 different classes. He is really funny. There was one day he took the entire book, the Cat in the Hat book, and basically made it about biostatistics, changed all the words, memorized the whole thing, and like started the class by performing the book for us. So it was really cool because it's like a funny, cheesy kids book, and yet he related it perfectly to what we were learning about that day, which really isn't easy when you're talking about biostatistics and experimental design and relating it to Cat in the Hat. But somehow he pulled it off, and I think that makes him a really great professor.
Dr. McFalls, he's the one that actually inspired me to be a sociology minor, which is something I never thought I was going to do, but he's very, very good at applying big concepts, especially about the world, inequalities in the world, and he applied it to popular culture, movies, music, which is something that really got me very interested in something I didn't think I would be at all, and has made my life take a little bit of a different direction, so he's been really invaluable.
Dr. Grover, I had her for intermediate finance this past semester, and I liked her so much that it was actually the second time that I took her. I had her back in my sophomore year for my intro finance course, and it was just the most wonderful experience. She cares so much about the students and was always available for help. And I couldn't ask for a better finance professor.
Dr. Louise Russo. I'm a nursing major, so she was my professor for anatomy and physiology, a class that I was absolutely terrified to take. I'd heard so many stories about how hard anatomy was, and she really made the class so enjoyable. I never thought that I would enjoy the skeletal system so much, in fact. She made it funny, classes were engaging, and she really helped me learn a subject that was so important to the foundation and basis of all of my nursing knowledge. And she became a great mentor along the way, not only teaching me about anatomy and physiology, but also how to kind of go through my sophomore year and how to have a little bit more perspective on everything that was going on.
Is Alice Daly. I actually met her when I was in high school, and I stopped in the English department because I knew I wanted to be an English major, and they forwarded me to her. So when I talked with her, I'm obsessed with Shakespeare, and so is she, and that was just a really lucky match. And I've waited years to finally get into her really popular Shakespeare on Stage class. And over those years, I found out that she once worked with tigers and is a semi-professional boxer, as well as an absolute genius scholar. So having all of her knowledge is amazing, but then just having her as a mentor is even better.